Heavy rains stimulate wild coho salmon to leave the Pacific and migrate up freshwater streams. They usually return to spawn where they hatched, in coastal streams from California to Japan. Few that start the journey actually get to their spawning streams. Predators take them, and dams block their way. In one Alaska stream study, 60% of the migrating cohos were killed by bears. The bear's fecal material ends up in streamside forests. The nutrients eventually leach back into the streams. This nutrient cycling from the ocean to the land is why the coho is a keystone species. Cohos are silver-colored, but after leaving salt water, they stop feeding and their skin color changes. The streams seem to glow with red. The bears prefer the fresh silver salmon, often eating just the fat-rich eggs and brains. The salmon's shape changes along with their color. Males develop a tight jaw. The further they travel, the more ragged they become. Tears in their skin allow fungal patches to grow. Pairing up, the coho prepare to spawn. The female tests the gravel, then digs several reds and lays eggs. After the male fertilizes them, she covers the eggs and guards them until she depletes her physical reserves and dies. The male will fight with other males to mate with the remaining females until he dies. Water flows through the gravel and oxygenates the eggs. In 6 or 7 weeks, the eyed eggs begin to hatch. The salmon fry retain a yolk sac, sustaining them for a month. Fingerling salmon, or parr, will grow to 1/4 their adult size in a year or two, during which time they migrate downstream to saltwater. After spending 1 to 6 years growing in the ocean, coho salmon migrate back towards their spawning waters and are sometimes taken by fishers. These people have fished here at Cielo Falls for 11,000 years, until the Dales Dam was built on the Columbia, covering the falls, stopping the salmon migration, and the fishery. The most important reason for the wild coho's decline is the proliferation of dams during the 20th century. Today in the Columbia River, 80% of the cohos are hatchery strains. Now some old dams are being removed, allowing increased wild salmon migration and spawning. Both Atlantic salmon and the 6 species of Pacific salmon spend their adult lives in the ocean and migrate up freshwater streams to spawn. One big difference between them is that all the Pacific salmon species die after spawning, while 10% of the Atlantic salmon return to the ocean and can spawn up to 3 times. Pacific salmon make the ultimate sacrifice and die to enrich the water for their fry. Nutrients from their decomposing bodies stimulate plankton growth, crustaceans, and aquatic insects, which the fry need. So both salmon and the nutrients cycle from the sea to the land to the sea.